Good morning, my demons. How is everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. Hail thy fucking self. It is Wednesday. It is a fucking hump day. I hope everyone's doing well. Good to see everybody in here. Maeve, Evie, Disciple. I hope you're all doing well. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Looks like you're all talking about some horror icons there. I actually just bought a t-shirt that has Scream, Michael Myers, and I think Jason on it. I was wearing it the other day, but it's on the back of the shirt, not the front, right? But it says hello, hallowed trip or something on the front. I don't know. It just looked cool. I buy shirts because they look cool, not because they actually mean anything. So this morning, the ageless self is what we're going to be talking about. So it's kind of like a concept that I've been kind of running through my head, and I've been thinking about it quite a bit. How we like to obsess over age, and I've heard rumblings of people saying that the left-hand path is for the young, and I'm like, well, say what now? It's like, I think this is a rumor that needs to be addressed. Gray, how's it going? Good to see you. Hail, brother. So, yeah, the simple way of putting this is that, well, I mean, demons don't give a shit how old you are. They don't give a fuck about your wrinkles, your gray hair, or your tired fucking bones. They really fucking don't. The left-hand path is not a young man's game. It's a warrior's game, a survivor's game. And every day you wake up, you either choose to rot or you choose to rise. That's what you choose to do, right? You choose yourself, no excuses, no, oh, I'm too old or I've missed my chance. Kid, you gotta get over that shit. You stop looking for permission, you stop crying about the past, and you stop romanticizing youth, and you get the fuck up off your ass, you get up and you start fucking moving. That's what it's about. It's about moving. It's about always creating the better version of yourself. And yes, Maeve, it is the home of the wise, and wisdom comes with years, right? But for some reason, society glorifies youth as the only time that you can create, build, or be powerful, and that's fucking bullshit, right? It's not that you can't be all of those things in your youth, but it's not the only time that you can do those things in your life. Most definitely is not the only time that you can do those things. And if we look at it, right, Anton LaVey published the Satanic Bible at 37, right? Some people call that young, some people call that old. I thought it was an interesting little fact. He was 37 when the Satanic Bible was published. Crowley didn't finish Magic Without Tears until his 70s. And Stan Lee created Spider-Man at 39, right? So you're not out of time unless you decided to bury yourself alive. The adversary doesn't measure your age. He measures your fire. Either you burn or you fade. The choice is yours. It's a little tiring constantly having to justify to people, or feeling like you need to justify doing things at a certain age, right? Like dressing a certain way. Like that's a big one, right? That's a big one that happens all the time, right? You dress a certain way. It's like, aren't you too old to dress that way? So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm a rock star until I die. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, right? I'm wearing the Jankos, and I'm wearing the Docs, and I'm wearing the Kill Star and the Trip well into my 60s and 70s, and probably you're gonna bury me in it, right? You know, it is who I am. It's how I want to look. I do what I want to do. That's it, right? And the left-hand path is no different. The left-hand path, I feel, for a lot of people find the left-hand path later in life. Tragedy in life, Something breaks away, something sparks a change inside the mind, and the spirit feels that change, and the spirit wants to follow that change. And it is for people that have finally realized they need to choose themselves. They need to look at their own betterment and look at the mistakes that they have made in their life and make a decision to do better, to do something more powerful with their lives, whether for the people around them or themselves or both. We look to learn the most we can about ourselves and who we are as people to do and be better. The left-hand path gets confused with spirituality, and though the left-hand path involves quite a bit of spirituality, it isn't inherently spiritual. It isn't inherently theistic. I keep saying this, and many people, I get a lot of comments on TikTok specifically where people talk about how, the left-hand path is evil and demonic and this, that, and the next thing. And it's like, that just goes to show how little you actually fucking know. The left-hand path is a philosophy. It is an overlaying philosophy to your spirituality. It is a life philosophy. It is how you choose to live your life. The things that you choose to do for yourself. Every day when you wake up, you choose to be better. Every day when you wake up, you choose to try something else to be a better version of yourself. You try to wake up earlier. You try to exercise a little bit more. You try to eat a little bit better. All of these things can be connected to the left-hand path. Those are all choices that you make for yourself. You decide to stop procrastinating and actually go live instead of thinking about whether or not your overlays are perfect or, something like that. Let's say that that's something that you want to do. You stop thinking about what it is that you're going to go live about, and then you just go live. You just do it, right? Or you stop thinking about whether or not, the book is perfect, and you just choose to push it and publish it. Right? You stop thinking about the perfection of things and you go forward with something because you know that eventually you can work on improving those things once you've started them, right? Instead of sitting there thinking about, well, what am I going to write a book about? Well, sit the fuck down and start writing. Something will formulate. What am I going to draw? Just sit down and start drawing. Something will formulate, right? Stop allowing yourself to fall into task paralysis and thinking about what you're doing and just do something. That's it. Just do something. And that's what the left-hand path is about. The left-hand path is about pushing the go button and going for it. And understand that I think one of the things that we all kind of fall prey to when we want to change, when we want to improve things, is we have the vision of who we want to be at the end of the process, right? We can see the goal. It's like, okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. But we get stuck on that. We forget about the steps in the process beforehand. Right, the steps that it takes to get to that point. We get obsessed with the end game, the end point of everything, right? And by doing that, we stop trying because we're like, okay, this is taking too long. This is where I want to be, but I'm not there yet. Well, you're not going to be there overnight now, are you? And this isn't just for people that are young to realize this. Most people that are young aren't going to realize this. You're not going to realize this until later in life, unless, of course, you've had some major traumatic event which throws you for a fucking loop and wakes you the fuck up earlier in your life. Now, the left-hand path is about relentless self-creation. Every day you wake up, you are faced with the altar of yourself. Will you sacrifice excuses or will you sacrifice your potential? No waiting for validation from gods, gurus, or even your parents, your friends, your partners. The only validation you need is your own. Okay? Instead of saying it's too late, ask, what can I conquer today? Instead of, I wish I started sooner, say, I'm starting now. Instead of, I'm tired, ask, am I tired or undisciplined? Those are the questions that should be asked. The demonic doesn't care how long it takes you. They care that you never stop, because the path is not about arrival. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. That's what it's about. And we ask ourselves these questions all the time, right? Or you have a normal 9 to 5 and you finish your 9 to 5 and then you're like, oh, I'm too tired to go to the gym. Oh, I'm too tired to go live. I'm too tired to do this. Well, here's the thing. Are you looking at things as a professional or are you looking at them as a hobby? Because the difference between a hobbyist, an amateur, and a professional is the professional shows up even when they don't want to. And so what do you want to do with the things that you're doing? Right? What do you want to be doing? Right? I'll give you a perfect example. Right? I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. Usually I wake up at 5:30. Forgot to set my alarms. I woke up at 6 o'clock. Today's Wednesday. Today's a Satan and Coffee Day. But I'm laying in bed with Dyra. And she is wrapped up around me and I am so comfortable and I don't want to move. I don't want to get up. I want to stay in bed, but I got my ass up. I made my coffee and I sat down and I'm here doing Satan and Coffee because I don't look at Satan and Coffee as a hobby. I look at Satan and Coffee as part of the business, part of the brand. And regardless of what I wanted to do this morning, I did what I had to do this morning, which is come talk to all you lovely people. The difference between self-deification and self-performing is talking about what you want to do and then actually doing it. And understanding that everything has steps. Everything has to start small. You don't go from no podcast to the #1 podcast overnight. It doesn't happen that way, right? I've been doing online content for over 5 years now, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop because this is what I want to do. And so I treat it like it was $1 million business because that's what I want it to be. You want to be a successful streamer, you want to be a successful author, you want to be successful at anything, you need to start instead of procrastinating and waiting for everything to be perfect, because nothing is going to be perfect. Why do you guys think my overlays change like almost as much as my underwear does? Because it's always evolving. It's always changing with how I want things to be, how I see things being. And so I change my overlays. Thankfully, I have the technical skill to be able to create designs for myself, and I don't have to commission them. So I get an idea, I make that idea happen, I put it together, and I put it out there, and then I go from there. But that's what this is. It's not only young people that should be involved in this. And to be quite honest, I think most young people should probably hold off on being involved in this. Because it's not about the magic and the spells and, the manifestation and the rituals. I mean, that's a part of it, but that's not what it's about. Not the left-hand path, at least. The left-hand path is about self-improvement. We use the rituals and the spells and all of that stuff to further what it is that we want from ourselves. To help ourselves, to help others. That's what we use that part for. But the focus isn't that. It's you. You are the focus. Relentless self-creation. The path is for those who are tired, broken, scarred, but still claw forward. The black flame that refuses to die even when it's dim. And I'm sure we've all felt that at some point. Lost in the path, aimless. Where is it going now? What's the next thing to achieve? I think the best question is what have you achieved? What reflects your practice? What have you actually achieved? Not like what else is there achieved, because if you're watching this and if you're, in the chat right now, I highly doubt that you're a millionaire. So what have you achieved? It's not to say that you haven't achieved anything, but to ask the question, what else is there to achieve? If you're not sitting in, financial security and have absolutely everything that you want in your life lying around you, the question most definitely shouldn't be, what else is there to achieve? It's, what do I want to achieve? Right? That's the big question. Individuation has no deadline. Your psyche can grow until your last breath. Lucifer and Belial, Baphomet are examples of eternal striving. Never bowing, never stopping. Exactly what will fulfill you? For me, it's never stopping. Like, comfortability is death. There's a difference between comfortability and gratitude. Being grateful for the things that you have in your life and being kind of like comfortable with the things that you have in your life, right? Comfortable to the point of being sedentary, right? And so being comfortable and sedentary, that's death. That's just dying. You're done. Being grateful for the things that you have and still wanting more, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong with wanting more out of your life, no matter what your age is. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. And that's what keeps us going. Before it was food, right? When was the next meal coming, right? That was the thing, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Like that was how we started. Like when's the next meal coming? Like when are we going to be able to get some meat instead of berries? That was our strive. That was our drive. Now we go to the grocery store and we just buy the shit. So what's the drive now for humanity? What's the drive now for the individual? Personal betterment, personal possession, That's the drive. And then when you begin to have a family, providing your family the things that you never had, right? Making sure that they don't have the disciple. That's good for you. This isn't apocrypha. This isn't a debate. You are more than welcome to disagree with whatever it is that you want to disagree with. I saw your message. I chose not to respond to it. You know what I should do here? Hold on a second. As moderator, save. There we go. So, we all choose what is going to drive us. And with the family aspect, making sure that our family has the things that we never had, so they don't have to feel the need to strive for those things. Now, I think one of the problems with that mentality is, at least with your children, we assume that our children would want the same things that we wanted, or the same things that, we've strived for. And the thing is when we provide them with those things, it turns out that those aren't the things that they want. And they find their own things to strive for. It's beauty of life. By the way, Dyra, that sounded sarcastic as fuck. I'm sorry. I made you a mod. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Disciple, I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, there's a time and place to disagree with things. And Satan and coffee is definitely not one of them. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just, yeah. And if you're disagreeing with the idea of comfortability and being sedentary is death. If that's the point that you're disagreeing with, it is. Because if you stop moving, the body begins to rot. The body stops functioning. That's why you think when people sit down on a couch for most of the time and they start stuffing their face, they inevitably grow into the couch. Because the body's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Right? Just fact of life. You need to move. You need to get up. You need to continue striving for what it is that you want in your life. You give up, it is a slow death of self. So, a practical push on this: learn a new skill, find something new to learn. Anything, doesn't matter what it is: programming, graphic design, a video game, I don't give a shit. Learn a new skill. Start the project you keep burying. Hit the go live button. If commendable results rarely credit talent or luck. Always cite hard work, dedication, and persistence. Exactly. And that's what it is. Here's the thing. Everyone in the world, when you're trying to do something, when you're trying to build something, people are going to sit there and tell you, why are you working so hard? Why are you doing this all the time? What's the point? Why is it worth it? And then when you finally obtain the success, everyone's going to tell you how fucking lucky you are. Those same people are going to tell you how fucking lucky you are. It isn't luck. Perfectionists face a world where reality and opportunities shift faster than they can deliver, so they never actualize anything. Fast movers, accustomed to rapid, always leapfrog, be agile. Exactly, 100%, 100%. I completely agree with that, right? Stop trying to make things perfect, because the thing is everything that you're going to do is going to change. Like your platforms, your methods, they're going to change. Don't be perfect with how things are now. Have a decent enough understanding of it, and then be able to pivot. Right? Whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Whatever it is, whatever the conversation is, whatever it is that you're going into. Like, for example, everybody likes to use Colonel Sanders as, like, you know, from KFC as like the epitome of, you know, it's never too late, because homeboy didn't start, like, you know, KFC until he was like 67, right? But the thing is you're not going to use the same business model that homeboy did, because like he was going door to door, you know, selling fucking chicken. I don't think you're going to be going door to door selling anything, right? At least not in this day and age, right? You know, Avon calling is a fucking app on your phone now. It's not, you know, don't fucking be showing up at your door with fucking makeup samples. You know, the game has changed, and it will continue to change. It will constantly change, and you need to be on top of that, right? You need to be on top of those changes, those movements. So, I completely agree, Gray. I think there's nothing wrong with being at the point of contentment as a full circle. No. See, you're saying being content, right? I'm saying being comfortable. Those are two different things. See, now we're arguing semantics here, disciple. Right? You can be content and grateful, that's fine, but being comfortable, overly comfortable to the point of not moving, this is the point where I'm trying to make when it comes to being comfortable. Right? Being grateful usually means there's a level of comfortability, but being overly comfortable to the point of not wanting to do anything else, not wanting to strive for more, which is why it's always important to be grateful, to appreciate the things that you have, to enjoy the things that you have. Being grateful and thankful for the things that you do have, the things that you have achieved, allow you to enjoy them, but also afford you the ability to understand and know that it's okay to want more. So, the whole idea here is I'm getting older, right? I'm 39, I'm pushing 40, right? My next birthday is the Black Parade, right? It's the black balloons, the black cake, and like the coffin on the top, right? Choosing the easy path, which at least could be complete stagnation, will lead to losing drive and reason for action. Exactly, Maeve, exactly. And so, yeah, I'm getting older. I'm getting up there. But that drive is still there. That desire is still there. That want is still there. And I've never bought into that bullshit that it is too old. You're too old to do anything. And to be completely honest, right? My inspiration, I always forget this guy's name. I can see his face and I can hear his voice. But yeah, L. Jorgensen from Ministry is like my inspiration for getting older. Right? Like I saw a video of him doing a collab with Cold Chamber when Cold Chamber came out with their last album, like I think almost a decade ago now. Dude's in his 70s and he's still just like, I don't give a fuck what you think about me or how I look. Like, more piercings than I would ever dream of having, cowboy hat, you know, dressed goth as fuck. And I'm just like, yeah, that's me. So Al Jorgensen is definitely like my inspiration, like when it comes to, you know, you're never too old to do what you're doing. You know, like Al Jorgensen is like the epitome of that. Tree Sap, what's up? And it's the same with the left-hand path, right? Like, I honestly think, you know, coming into the left-hand path, like, you need to come into the left-hand path with that idea of personal betterment. Like, and you can come into the idea of needing to better yourself or being a better version of yourself at any point in your life. Whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, it doesn't matter. Like, if you can come into the left-hand path at any point and understand that I have wasted my time worrying about other people. I have wasted my time worrying about what the world thinks about me, and I've done nothing for myself. I've done everything for everyone else. And with the left-hand path, we understand that as long as I'm evolving, as long as I'm becoming better, the people around me can reap the benefits of that improvement. My family, my friends, my loved ones, the people that I care about, my business partners, everyone can reap the benefits of me becoming a better person, a more stable person, a more driven person, including myself, by doing things for myself. Right? I become a better person. I become a better person, not just for myself, but for everyone around me. So it's never too late to realize that. It's never too late to get on that path. It's never too late to work with the demonic. It's never too late to cast a spell, to tap into your own personal power, to perform a ritual. It's never too late to do those things. Never. It's never too late to continue. It's never too late to start. All you have to do is choose yourself. That's it. So that is the ageless self. The ageless self is appreciating where you are in your life currently, however old you are, is appreciating who you are as a person and the experiences that have been afforded to you and the knowledge and wisdom that you carry with you all the time. That is the ageless self. And yeah, I'm 39, I'm pushing 40, but I would rather be 40-year-old me than a 20-year-old anybody. Because the ideas in my mind, the things that I know, the things that I've learned, can't be replaced. They are unique to me, good and bad. So stop romanticizing when you were younger and when you had this or when you looked like that, and appreciate where you are in your life now, because the moment that you have now, in this moment right now, that's all you got. Your past is done. So be grateful for your past. Don't obsess over the future. And live in the moment. Because the only thing you can do is the steps that you can do today, which will lead into the steps that you can do tomorrow. Stop obsessing over the end game. Have the picture in your mind and then focus on the steps. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? Right? 100%. And I think the biggest thing to be grateful for and to appreciate is yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the one making the moves, right? You're the one waking up every morning. Be grateful for yourself. Right? Be grateful for what you have, whether you're sick, you're not sick, if you have your health, you're, you know, if you got one leg, be grateful you got one leg. Right? You got one hand, be grateful you got one hand. You got one eye, be grateful you got one eye. You got no eyes, be grateful you got your hearing. You got no hearing, be grateful that you can smell. There's always something to be grateful for. And it is a matter of perspective. It truly fucking is. Like, I know people get irritated with the concept of perspective, you know, and like, change your perspective. And no, it's not an easy thing to do. Like, changing your perspective isn't easy, but it does come down to perspective. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? It sounds cliche, irritating. It's a great many things, but it is also fucking true. Right? You lose your job, guess what? Now you have an opportunity to dive into the things that, you know, you want to dive into and go ham with that shit and make it work for you. Or you can spend your time scrambling around looking for another fucking job. It's one of the two, right? Is it half empty or half full? Now you don't have an income coming in, but now you have free time. It's perspective. It's perspective. That's what it is. Every end is also a new beginning. So you can either focus on the end of whatever has ended, or you can focus on the doors opening up in front of you. But if you keep focusing on the shit that's behind you and how shit has ended, you're going to be blind to all of the doors that are open to you. Because you're going to be trying to go through the door that just closed. You're like, no, I liked it back there. I want to go back there, but you can't go back there. Get the fuck over it. Open your eyes and allow yourself to see what's in front of you. Be grateful for what you have. And never be ashamed for striving for more. You're not too old, and it's not too late. You're not too broken. The only thing that can stop you from becoming is you. That's it, guys. That's it. So I thank you all for coming. You guys are fucking amazing. Disciple, Treesap, Maeve, Dyra, Gray, all of you, thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for watching. You guys are fucking amazing. And I will see you guys on Friday. And as always, hail thy fucking self. See you in the next one. Peace the fuck out.